Hey, how's it going? And welcome to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today we've got a Thompson Bros bottling. It's a North British, which is a grain whisky. It was filled in 1992 and bottled in 2022 from 2 refill barrels. So it's 43.5%, 30-year-old, non-chill filtered, no added colouring, and it costs between £85 to £90. Now this was a Christmas present. So yeah, I'm pretty sure my mum and dad paid about £85 for it. It's bottled exclusively for the Royal Mile Whiskies, and it's got a nice kind of artwork there on the label by Sarah Williel. I've just seen that on the back. I don't know. You might need to Google it, but Sarah or Sarah something. So yeah, it's nice artwork, but obviously we're here for the whiskey, so we'll pretty much get straight down to it. Being a grain whiskey, I am not the biggest fan of grain whiskies normally. There have been occasions, and hopefully this is such one of those. So we'll go down to the nose, the palate and the finish, and we'll see if it's a Whisky Win or a Whisky Bin. So there's peach compote on the nose, quite sweet, quite fruity. And it reminds me of those Muller yogurts where you get plain vanilla yogurt in one corner, and in the other corner you get a small kind of pot of peach compote. So it's exactly like that. You've got the creaminess from the plain vanilla yogurt, and you've also got the... I've just spilled that on me. So I just was swirling the whiskey in the glass here and got some down my t-shirt. So you're just going to have to make do with a bit of a klutzy t-shirt. Anyway, so yeah, you've got that plain yogurt from the Muller corner and the fruity kind of tart peach compote element. Quite fantastic. There's orange cream biscuits there as well. These are similar to custard creams, but instead of like the kind of custard layer in the middle, you've got an orange flavouring. I think it's made by the same company that do like custard creams and that. I think the company that I've had them before are called Hills. There's also like a lemon kind of puff pastry smell. So yeah, quite fruity, quite tart, a little bit citrus and really creamy on the nose. And also down my shirt. So the palate. Yeah, you're getting like custard slices just to go along with the kind of pastry element and the creamy element. Those thin pastry slices with quite a thick layer of kind of custard filling. That's definitely there. There's a little bit of woody elements. It's a little bit woody, a little bit oaky. There's also these kind of, I don't know if they're cheap, but you get them in like farm foods and frozen places like that, frozen food stores like Iceland and things like that. But they're like oranges that have been scooped out and stuffed with orange sorbet, and then frozen. You get them in packets, little individual packets, and it kind of tastes like that. A little bit tart again, a little bit sweet, a little bit fruity, and the orange kind of zestiness. But I don't know if you've ever had them. They come with like the orange little lid. You take that off, which is just basically the orange cut, and then you scoop into it, into the sorbet. So yeah, that's something quite different, something quite unique, and it's quite a creamy texture as well. I remember these little orange sorbets being quite creamy. There's some wine gum, kind of fruity chewiness to it. There's also a little bit of charring. Charred oak, like I said, with the woodiness, a little bit of a charred element. There's ice cream cone wafer. I want to specifically point out like the wafer element, the kind of crunchy, yeah, wafer. And also it's got like a big dollop of creamy ice cream and a creamy vanilla ice cream. It's definitely a creamy dram and fruity for sure. The finish. So the finish on this one, unfortunately, is a little short. There's more of that oaky, woody element on the finish. It's creamy on the finish, and probably some kind of tart fruits in the finish as well. A little drawing in your cheeks, but nothing too. It's not an offensive dram at all. The 43.5% ABV, making it, allowing it to be a little bit softer. But the finish is a little bit too short for my liking, and it kind of lacks a little bit. However, the nose and the palate somewhat make up for that. So we'll get down to my rating. If you're new here, how I rate my whiskey is on 3 factors, and that is, would I buy it again, would I recommend it, and do I think it's worth it? If we get 2 out of 3 of them, then it's a Whisky Win. Hopefully that focuses there. And if we get only 1 out of 3 or less, then it's a Whisky Bin. So, would I buy it again? Although this was bought as a Christmas gift, I don't think I would buy it again anyway. The reason being is because I just can't see myself buying a grain whiskey twice, if that makes sense. I'm just not that into grain. This is lovely, to be honest. It's a nice dram, a little lacking, like I said, in the finish, a little soft, but the flavours that are there are quite strong. They're quite powerful. With the, like I said, with the creaminess, the fruitiness, it's nothing too offensive. It's quite easy drinking. So yeah, it's quite a lovely dram, quite a kind of chilled out, relaxed dram. But I just wouldn't buy it again because I feel like there's too much kind of single malt and blends to try, or that are on offer to explore over this. So I wouldn't buy it again. I would recommend it though, whether you buy a bottle or whether you get a sample, because I do think it's worth trying. It's worth the flavours, it's worth the experience. So I would recommend it. And the £85 for a 30-year-old whiskey that's an exclusive bottling. I don't know if it says how many. There's only 276 bottles there. So it's old, yes, it's a grain, but £85, I think that's well priced. So I think it's worth the price, especially with what kind of flavours you're getting. Yeah, like I said, the finish is a little short, and maybe you'd want a little bit more from it. But I think going into that, I wasn't expecting too much with regards to the finish in that, because sometimes grains can be a little softer, especially when they're this old. But yeah, it's a Whisky Win because it's 2 out of 3. Like I said, I'd recommend it, and I think it's worth it. So yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on it. Yeah, it's a good whiskey. It's tasty and it's chilled out. So yeah, thanks for watching. I've been Stuart. This has been Whisky Whims. I'll see you later.